All right, guys. Well, this next guest basically doesn't really need an introduction, but he is getting on anyway because he is next in line to fight for the welterweight belt. Of course, a former champion, interim champion himself, current #1 contender, the one and only Colby Covington. Look at the chains. Look at the sunglasses. Look at the man. Welcome back to your official home here at Submission Radio. How are you, man?
Never been better, my boys from down under. I appreciate you having me on today, and it's always an honor and a pleasure to chop it up with you guys.
100%, man. The pleasure is all ours. Congratulations on the win last night. Your pick of the week was 100% spot on, and as Aljamain, he did in fact defend the belt against Henry Cejudo. What a fight, man. I just want to kick it off with this. As somebody who appreciates obviously high-level grappling and wrestling, what did you think of that fight itself? The way it played out, man. The Olympic gold medalist getting taken down by Alja. Unbelievable stuff, man.
Oh, man, to be honest, boys, I didn't watch, but of course I made the people rich. That's what I do. I make bank accounts great again. All you got to go do is get over to mybookie.ag, use promo code Colby, and my picks are efficient. Like, I'm going, boys, like 7 out of 10. Like, I'm a 70% hitter right now. Like, that's strong. So if people are following my tails and my picks, they're rich, and that's what I got them last night. But I wasn't paying attention to the fights. I had better things to do, boys. I was down in Miami at F1 races with my boy, Ben Pogue from Texas, so he just came in town. So we were out at F1. We were at Prime 112, the best steakhouse in Miami Beach, and just enjoying the great finer things of Miami Beach.
Well, dude, we don't blame you. The F1, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. But I got to quickly get your thoughts. No, not quickly. I really want to get your thoughts. I don't know if you've had a chance to watch the replay yet, or if you've heard the rumors about it, or if you watched some clips on Instagram or just some parts of the fight. But what did you think when you saw Belal Muhammad beat Gilbert Burns in the co-main event in a pretty big fight in your division?
What I think is just, two losers going out there and who's the biggest loser? There was only one winner, guys, who won in between that fight. Can you guys guess? I'm going to give you guys one hint, or not going to give you a hint. I want to see if you guys can guess and get it right. Who was the winner last night in between that fight?
I don't know, man. Someone betting on my bookie. You tell us, man.
Yeah, someone with some nice sunglasses and a bunch of chains.
Oh, man. There was only one winner because they weren't guaranteed anything. Everybody knows Dana said it over and over again. I don't know how many times the dorks over in the MMA media need to be explained. I'm next for the world title fight. So they weren't fighting for anything last night. The only person that profited and won last night, guys, was Ali Abdelaziz. That's the only guy. He couldn't lose. He put two guys out there, and it was a risk for both of them for no reason. What are they fighting for? They're not fighting for anything. The UFC didn't care to make that fight. It's not like that fight was going to sell pay-per-views or make this a big pay-per-view draw. No, those guys are nobodies. If anything, they're trying to just get rid of that racist. Remember the racist, Belal Muhammad. It's disgusting, man. Bill Lyle is a racist. The fact that he said that I earned something on the color of my skin because I'm white. No, nobody earns. That's disgusting that you could ever look at someone like that and point fingers and judge them because the color of my skin. Like, that's clear racism, and no one's walked it back. No one said sorry for it. None of this. So it's disgusting that no one, that loser would say that.
It's interesting that you say that it was a big risk, because one of the guys that really sort of didn't work out for was Gilbert Burns. I know you didn't watch the fight, but just to set the scene for you, Belal had some good body kicks and stuff like that throughout the fight, but Gilbert basically had one arm in the fight, and it kind of did look like he maybe shouldn't have been fighting so soon. I know last time we spoke, he said Gilbert was a nice guy, and, you saw that angle as the king of Brazil down the line. When you heard that it kind of didn't pan out for him at all in this one, did you kind of feel sorry a little bit for him that things kind of played out the way that they did?
I just feel sorry that his representation, that's what I feel sorry for. He has a guy that's managing his ship that is a clear scumbag, is a clear sleazeball, using his fighters against each other and having his fighters fight each other so he can make, a payday from both of them. So, it's disgusting and despicable the stuff Ali Abdelaziz does and the way he throws his fighters out there to profit off of, and he doesn't care about any of the fighters. So if anything, I just feel bad for his representation. I hope Gilbert, he's just a dad from Boca, it's not like he's anything more or anything less. So, my thing for Gilbert is that, I hope he goes out there and does the right thing, gets better representation. Have people around you that really genuinely want the best out of you and are going to look for every way possible to get the most for yourself.
I want to get into Leon in a second and sort of get an update. But before we do, obviously your plan is to go in there, fight Leon, win the belt. And based off of last night's fight, Belal winning, you would think that he'd be next in line for a belt afterwards, right? So in your mind, do you think like, hey, my potential number one, challenger or first defense of the belt could be Belal?
Boys, they were not. Do I have to re-explain myself? They were fighting for nothing last night. You think he's just going to sit out till early 2024? Because now, this title fight's getting pushed back till later in the end of the year, fall, winter. So, you think he's just going to be able to sit out? He has that type of star power to sit out and then call his shot? No, he's going to have to fight again, and rightfully so. When you make racist comments and you're on the ESPN platform, man, like this is a big platform, a lot of families, and there's a lot of kids out there that are looking up to us. So the fact that he would make a racist comment in such a divisive time, and we don't need any more divide in this country. We need, coming together and people working together and not judging someone off the color of the skin. No, I did not earn this because of the color of my skin. I earned this because numbers. I earned this because of my accomplishments, beating world champion after Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer. So, I'm up here for a reason. It's not because of the color of my skin, like Bill Lyle, the racist, says. Remember the racist.
So last time we spoke to you, man, we were really excited about potentially flying over to London and seeing this title fight between you and Leon. And from everything we were hearing, it looked like things are gearing up for a pretty epic fight in London. Now it looks like, well, we know for sure that fight isn't happening in July. Before we sort of ask about an update, I just want to get your thoughts and reaction to the fact that this potentially historic moment won't be happening this July, especially because I know you spoke to us about how cool it would be to actually go over in enemy to win this belt.
Yeah, guys, I'm kind of heartbroken, to be honest, because when I walked through those curtains to the O2 arena, when I weighed in and as the backup fighter, and I walked out to that arena and they embraced me like the true king that I am and chanted my name, Colby, Colby. I had never felt a building of such electricity and such energy and just that type of atmosphere. It was incredible. Those fans deserve a pay-per-view main event world title fight. So the fact that Leon robbed them of that, like now I can see why nobody likes him over there and no one likes him, period. So, it sucks because, those guys and those people are so electric, such passionate fans that like they deserve that. So, on here today on Submission Radio, boys, I'm going to make a promise to the people of London, since their supposed champion can't do it for them. I'm going to come back. I'm going to win the UFC welterweight world title, and I'm going to come make my first title defense over in London.
No, there you go.
Because I love you people. And I respect the passionate and just the true fans that you guys are.
Well, there you go. I mean, we're looking for any excuse to come down to London, so I hope that happens. But I wanted to ask you, like, based on what you know and what you understand, what happened? How come that fight didn't pan out?
Yeah, the real facts and truth of the knowledge of why it didn't pan out. There's only one person to blame, guys. The UFC, they'd already switched the card from an ESPN. Dana had already been in the process of switching it from an ESPN card to a pay-per-view. And he already had it set in stone that it was going to be a pay-per-view. So, I was on board. UFC was pushing for it. They really wanted to give the fans of the UK a show because they realized how good a business and how good of energy it is over there in the UK and in that O2 arena. Those fans are freaking amazing. Like, honestly, it's the most electric fans I've ever been around. Like, I fought at MSG, fourth highest gate, T-Mobile, this and that, the biggest arenas in the US, but there's just something different about the vibes and the energy in the UK and in the O2 arena in specific in London.
Oh, for sure, man. It's like, you got Madison Square Garden, the O2, and you go through all the historic fights all over the world. You can't take London out of that. But I wonder, man, like, okay, so what is the UFC saying to you now? When are they saying this fight is going to happen?
Yeah, so the only reason that fight didn't happen is is Leon fucking Scott. That's the only reason it didn't happen. It's sad, but you know what? Guess what, guys? Now he's got to come to American soil and surrender like Cornwallis. Yes, I'm talking about Yorktown.
What kind of month are they saying?
I know they're pushing. I don't know. They're looking for in August, September now is my guess. They don't have anything locked in yet. The sooner the better for me. You guys know how I stay. I'm ready 24/7, 365. So if it's today, I'm ready. If it's tomorrow, I'll be ready. If it's however long it is, it's just a formality. Everybody knows Leon's nothing more than a placeholder. And his new name is Low IQ Edwards because, guys, I want you guys to do some research on him. What is his education level? What did he get through? Did he even get through middle school? Because his IQ is so low. He's stupid as Biden.
So the other thing that's floating around is like Abu Dhabi in October. Would that be realistic? It seems like it'd be an odd place to do that fight, but I know that idea's been floated around.
Yeah, that's an odd place to do it. This is going to happen on American soil. That's where the biggest and best business gets done anyways, boys. I mean, this is where this market is at. The biggest and best markets are over here in America. So we're going to do this. It's going to be a spectacle. It's going to be a big thing. So, Leon's got he has no say in this. He needs to sit there and take what he gets like a good little boy because he has he doesn't get to pick. He has no say in the matter. So he just needs to show up when the UFC tells him. And like I told him before, don't cross the boss, Leon. Accept what's taking you. The fact that you just turned down a home date in London, how do you turn that down? That's disgusting. You're cheating on all your fans. You're robbing all your people of a pay-per-view main event. It's still going to be a great event. That fight night at the O2 Arena, July 22nd, it's going to be an unbelievable event, headlined by Aspinall. But it could have been even bigger. It could have been the welterweight world title on the line. Him in his backyard, him getting the judges' decisions, getting this and that. Not that it's going to go to decision because I am finishing him. I guarantee it. I'm in my prime right now. I've never felt better physically and mentally. This is my peak, and I'm ready to capitalize on it. So Leon's got nowhere to run, he has no say in this. So show up like a good little boy, Junior.
I have to bring this up because all the fans would kill me down here if I didn't. Dana's talking about Sydney towards the end of the year, a big card down here. I think Israel might be on it. We don't quite know what's going to happen, but how would you feel about fighting for the belt here in Australia?
That would be fun. I would love that. The last time I was in Australia, I had a great time for the 12 hours I was there before, some reckless guy came and threw a boomerang at me. And, I had to head back to the States right away because I didn't want to jeopardize the UFC business. So, I'd love to come back and get some redemption over there. And, I love the fans of Australia. They're great, passionate fans as well. So, if that's in the cards, it's it's up to the UFC. It's up to the big bosses, Dana White, Hunter Campbell, Ari Emanuel. So we'll see. They know I'm ready anytime, anywhere, any place.
I love it, man. I'd love to have you back here. I think this is one of those fights where people just want to know when, people just want to have it locked in already so they can have a sort of a date and a time to look forward to, figure out where they're flying to, buying tickets. As we let you go, Colby, any messages to Leon to get this across the line if he catches this?
Leon, you wanted the Judas, but you're getting the juggernaut. Show up, Junior. You got nowhere to run and hide. You don't make decisions. You take what's given to you, kid. So I'll see you soon, bitch.
And Colby, as we wrap up as well, I know you said that Dana White had a term there about how, if Leon doesn't fight for a certain amount of time, he might lose his title or you might be fighting somebody else for the title. Have you heard anything on that? Is there a sort of a term here, a time limit, a certain period that Leon has to sort of take this fight with you before something like that could actually be actualized?
Definitely, yeah. If he waits late into the end of the year, this isn't going into 2024. So if it goes into 2024, he will be stripped. I know how the UFC works. I know how the big dogs work. Business moves on. Leon doesn't sell or draw or move the needle anyways. He's the B side of every fight. So business will go on as usual. And yeah, it will be next man up. Whoever the fans want, whoever the UFC wants, and whoever's worthy will get a shot at America's champ, Donald Trump's favorite fighter, and the king of fucking Miami. Come see me.
There you go, guys. Follow the man at Colby Cov MMA. Hopefully, the king of Miami, taking a trip down to Australia, potentially Sydney, potentially a cheeky interview on the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Thank you so much for your time, as always, Colby, man. Appreciate it.
Take care, boys. Good talking.